What's the worst way to end a relationship? Is it over text, the phone? Maybe you thought a date went really well, but unfortunately it did not go as planned. Maybe a one-night stand and you thought it was going to be longer. I think a lot of people have gone through those. But I found a story that's a little more worse than all those scenarios I had just listed. But if you think you can top it, let's hear it. Who wants to go first?
I'd always say that the worst thing to do is just drop the person like a hot potato. And just won't say anything. You know, you pretty much not ghost the person, but kind of just saying.
So you've held some hot potatoes?
No.
Oh, okay.
As everyone knows, I've never been in a stable relationship before.
But
so
have you held a hot potato?
No.
Okay.
Never held a hot potato. But I think that's the worst thing. Like, I hate it when people ghost one another. I just think that's wrong. So how
many relationships have you been in, Zach?
Zero.
Okay, so then how do you know what it feels like to be ghosted?
I've heard from people. So I try to take their experiences and try to think of it in my head.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. See, the thing is I'm more, like, let's say when it does happen, I'm more of an upfront approach. Like, let's say I'm dating a girl and she says, or I say to her, I'm sorry, this just isn't going to work out. I just don't see a connection happening. I prefer that upfront about it than like leaving it alone or going through text even. I feel like
it's so much easier said than done, because when you think about it, that person, let's say, like, for example, I'm not saying this is true. Let's say hypothetically you and I are together, Zach, right? So let's say you're feeling it's not working out. If you were to come to me and I'm already upset thinking you're going to break up with me and I'm like, you're not going to do it, right? You're not going to do it. Don't you feel even worse doing it in person knowing that the answer is true?
Maybe I would prolong it.
Well, exactly. You're not going to want to come out and be like, yeah, you're right. Next. Like, you're going to feel awful.
No, I'd probably... no, I would wait a little bit. I don't know. You see, I'm so inexperienced that it's so, new to me.
You need to get out there.
Yeah, I know.
You need to shove yourself out there.
Everyone's convincing me to go on a dating app.
You should go on Tinder or Hinge.
I'm thinking about Hinge more than Tinder.
Put yourself out there and be like, hey, man, I need help. And then that's it. Then you can finally go somebody on your own.
I just had a thought. I'm still on the hot potato thing, right?
Okay.
Because, like, I feel like Zach has... You ever go to McDonald's and you get fresh French fries? You ever hold hot fries?
Uh-huh.
You've held a hot potato.
Oh.
Boom.
Oh, my God. Matt, boom. I'm talking about what is the worst way that you've ever ended a relationship?
That was more of a figure of expression.
Yes, you. Now I'm up to you. Let's go.
Okay. I've never ended a relationship. I've only been them ended on me.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, how many have you been in, if you don't mind me
3.
asking? Okay, so you've been in all 3 relationships and they've never been you ending it?
Never.
Did they have valid reasons?
1 no, 2 yes.
Okay.
But I don't want to get into that. That's just a whole therapy session. But
okay.
Yeah, it was all over text, and I hate the age we live in right now that you can just do that. All 3 were over text.
So then what would you have preferred?
Honestly, a FaceTime call.
Really? You prefer a FaceTime call over in person?
Yeah. Because in person, there's too much emotion. I'm just like, this is horrible. Like, on a FaceTime call, you can at least hang up, and then you're, like, in your own home, and you're just, like, comfortable, and you can just roll up in bed. And
in person, you're like, why am I here?
Right. Yeah, you're like I came all the way here for you to do this. Are you serious? Like...
It's easier over text,
somebody went a long way, or somebody went out of their way to go somewhere to meet somebody to break up with them. I don't care if it's you're going to get broken up with, or someone comes to you to break up with you. I don't get the in-person thing. I think you want to see them, and you want to talk to them. FaceTime is the way to go.
I'm going to jump in on this one. So, when I was 16, I would get very, very emotional. And, I mean, I'm still very emotional. But I think the difference is that, especially, like you guys don't have womanly parts, so you guys don't really have a say in this.
Yeah.
But I know that during that time, I would get very, very emotional, and I would break up with people during that time, and it would be very brutal, extremely brutal. When I was 16, there was this one guy I was seeing. We were together for almost a year. He was my first, real relationship, but the problem was we'd be hanging out, watching a movie, everything was all good, and then 2 seconds later, he'd be in the corner, just, staring at the floor. And I'm like, what's wrong? He'd be like, I'm depressed. And, there'd be nothing else to it. It'd be that's the end of the conversation. No talking. That's it for, a long time. And I'd be like, can I get you anything? Do you want me to leave? Do you need anything? And he'd be like, no. And so we would just sit there until he got magically happy again. It was like the weirdest thing. So I just got tired of it, and he walked from Belmore all the way to where I live, which is the next town over.
Wow.
And it was like around, not Halloween, but it was cold. And we met at the back of my high school, and I just kind of was like, I'm not feeling this, dude. You literally just sit here and you don't do anything. And he cried. And then we got back together a month later because my friend brought us back, and then I did it again, and he cried even harder.
Oh, wow.
Man.
But yeah,
It was face to face, though.
Yeah, but I don't know. That guy just seems really weird.
Well, that's why I had to do it. You know,
Yeah.
I had to
It
cut
wasn't
him
for
off.
you.
Yeah, I don't blame
You're doing the right
you for
thing.
doing it. I don't blame you.
You don't want a depressing
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you got, you know.
I felt weird because I thought it was me. Because, you know, when it's your first real relationship, you're like, oh, could I have done anything better? Could I support this person more? Can I do anything? But then when you look back, you're like, yo, this guy's literally like in fetal position on the floor, just like, no. Like, what can you do? And you're just sitting here like, I'm having a good time. And you feel awful for having a good time. So I was like, you know what, he's got to go. And then I just did it.
Good.
And
good for you.
yeah, I felt awesome at the time. I mean, we're not friends, but like we're acquaintances now. So, and I'm really happy that I let go of
This
that.
is a question to some of the to the rest of you guys. Are you still friendly with some of the people that you have dated in the past or were boyfriend and girlfriend with?
As I said before, one of mine, everybody said she didn't have a good reason, and the other two did. Yeah, the one that didn't, no, I hate her still. And the other two, yeah, we're still friends.
I still talk to mine.
It's all about how it ends.
Yeah, it depends.
Like my first relationship ended really badly. Like she broke up with me because something about like her parents couldn't know because I wasn't her religion or whatever, and then she broke up with me.
That's messy, man.
I know, and then she broke up with me because we couldn't have a real relationship, and she didn't want to keep hiding it from her parents. Whenever I said, whatever. But then a week later, she dates my best friend for like 2 years, and I'm like, wow.
Was he of the same religion?
No. He was even further.
That's probably more of an
like, okay,
excuse
so
than-
yeah, she's Greek Orthodox Christian. I am Catholic. That's pretty close, right?
I guess so. I don't
He's
know.
Buddhist. Tell me how that works.
Yeah, very.
That's okay. That's a far-fetched one.
Yeah, like I can understand if you're Catholic and you're dating a Jew. Yes, very.
It's close enough.
They're closer religions. I mean, we read the Old Testament.
Yeah, but
you read the New Testament.
so some of the religions from like Asia or other places like are very far away.
Yeah, like you're gonna date a Hindu. Like no,
It's very
exactly.
different. It's very different cultures. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like no.
Wow. What about you, Addison?
I wouldn't not date somebody because of it. I'm just saying raising children would be hard.
Raising
The cultures
children
are
would be
different.
the tough thing.
Yeah.
But dating, no, you don't think about that.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know we had two Addisons in here now.
Oh yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, I was asking
doing, pal?
Addison, what's the worst way to end a relationship?
Well, the worst way to end a relationship is when everything's going great. Out of nowhere, you get a monologue sent to you saying how it's not going to work out. But it's okay. It's okay. I'm still very good friends with this person too.
Well, what happened that
Nothing.
you were hit?
Nothing. We were
I
just.
had that too, actually.
We were just.
Oh,
everything was going
Somebody
great.
else wants to chime in. I guess if you want to chime in as well, call 516-572-7440 on the worst way you've been having a relationship ended. Let's hear this one.
All right.
What's up, caller? You're on air.
This is John from Freeport. I am enjoying the show.
Thanks.
I feel like you should break up with someone in person. It's just a matter of the right thing to do or whatever. If it's serious, if it's more than 2 or 3 dates or whatever, but, to just call them up or send them a text message, say, like, it's done is really, I think it's sort of creepy. But the reason I'm calling is the second number, I've been trying to call it for like a week, and it's out. I wanted to speak to Sean, to the manager. Is there a number I could call him at, or?
Did you try the 7438 number?
No, I'll try that one.
Okay.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you put your input in for the dates. The dates, though. So you've broken up with someone, like you've ended it after 2 dates in person, all of them?
The thing is, my first serious relationship sort of broke it up with me, like, over the phone. We had a date in the city, and she didn't show up, and then she's like, yeah, I don't think it's going to work. And I was like, well, I went in the city, I was there, and, whatever. So I thought that was sort of creepy. It was semi-serious at the time, and, I think that's a bad way to do things. You should break up with someone in person, like a man, so to speak.
Wow. You know what? Well put. Well put right there. Thank you for that input. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, bye-bye.
No problem. That was something. But so Addison, we were still on you about yours.
Yeah, nothing bad happened. It was just like out of the blue, like, hey, like, you know, and we've been on and off since like 2019.
Oh, so this is not like...
No, this is
a thing.
Yeah.
So why haven't you just cut her off at this rate? Why don't you just be like, listen? I don't know.
Because we're very good friends, and it's like, it's weird. We have a very good chemistry. It's I don't know. It's just weird to just break it off.
So why don't you be like, listen, if you really don't want to be with me, stop toying with me. Just tell me yes or no.
Like it's been settled. Like, no. But deep down, I kind of know how she still feels, and like we still kind of feel the same. This is Dream Girl.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
So it's like, it's kind of like weird, but who am I? I'm not going to push anything. I'm friends.
No,
whatever.
yeah, you're just going to wait until...
Not even. Like, obviously in the back of my head, I'm always like, oh, maybe, just maybe it'll come back. But I don't know. I just feel like I'm biting my tongue at this point. But yeah, I think that's the worst way to quote unquote break up, is just when things are going great out of nowhere. Sorry. It's not, it's not you, it's me.
Oh, I hate that stuff.
It's like enough.
I hate
like,
that.
Come on, tell me the truth.
Please, especially when the excuse is so ridiculous too. Like, oh, I'm graduating high school. I can't do this.
I don't want a long distance
how old
relationship.
Are you?
I can understand.
I am 22.
Is this person just graduated high school?
No.
Okay.
No.
I mean, I can see that for your age because, you're looking at women who are younger, and I guess 18, 19 is the area you're in, or are you into older women? I'm not sure.
Around his age,
doesn't matter. Over, under, I don't care.
How old are you willing to go?
As 40. How old? Nah.
18 and up.
I'd push it to like 45.
Oh my God!
Really?
Yeah, don't mind
I wouldn't do that.
Finding a sugar mama? You kidding me?
I'm not that.
All the girls want sugar daddy.
Yeah, you want to borrow some money?
Not even. Just give me money.
You could definitely do some role play there.
She could put you on
Here you go, son. You buy some cookies at the elementary school. Could really push to them with that one, and you'd be like, "Yeah, thanks, mom."
Yeah, I've been tempted to download one of those mature dating apps.
With the even more mature.
They have
ones.
those, the thing.
Oh yeah, they look more beautiful than the women we try to get
Are you
with.
talking like Match.com and all those?
Oh,
I don't know.
probably more than that.
I forgot what it's called. I see it on my Snapchat sometimes with an
Oh,
advertisement.
those!
Like, whoa. Yeah, absolutely.
Addison's always into trying new things.
Absolutely.
Is that the ones where there are singles in your area or whatever?
I don't know.
Now he'll have to try that one too.
I've seen ads for that. Like, there are singles in whatever age group in your area, and I'm like, that's not safe.
No, that's just that. Yeah, that's spam.
It's a little bit of a.
Have you ever gotten that before? Like, oh, this, like, I'm going to give my town for example. This Hewlett woman just got arrested for doing this. I'm like, okay.
My favorite is seeing the junk mail. I love looking through my junk mail, seeing like your prostate is the size of a lemon, and I'm just like, I didn't even know I had one. I always take those screenshots and I'm like, look, Shane, look, we have a problem. He's like, you really have problems. I'm like, I know. Look at this. I'm like, it's the size of a lemon. Isn't that great? And he's like,
that's really bad. That's like really bad.
I'm gonna try that. Just search through spam.
I love doing it.
I'm doing that right now.
It's so much fun because you see all these weird things and it's like, Christian women really need to get with you. And I'm like, no, they don't. They really could wait. It's okay. So about you, Johnny, what's the worst way you've broken up with somebody or ended the relationship at least?
I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of just the cut you off type of person.
Oh, wow.
I won't front. Sorry, Zach. I know you said that's cruel, but
yeah,
it just happens because
it's okay. I won't judge you.
It's that line, like, too. Like, I mean, it's a little bit. It could be like it could go, both directions. Like if the type of people that's like, oh, I'm friends with all my exes, like that kind of annoys me. But it's cool to walk away friends too. But the actual way about doing it, I don't know. I have trouble having those difficult conversations. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think everybody does because it's like a really uncomfortable spot. You're trying to like move on without that person that you said you were going to move on with, and now you're here like, yeah. So about that whole thing we came up with, it's just not happening. And then it's just kind of hard for that person to accept, because obviously there's always one more person that's more into you than you're into them.
Oh, one sided relationship.
Yeah,
I've been there.
Those really suck, I have to say. Those are the worst. I really thought I was really into this guy, and then he like made out with a person that's only into girls, and I was really confused. So that was definitely one-sided. You ever had that happen to you?
Wait, say that again?
When I was like 17, I was seeing this guy, and I really thought that he was into me, and then he cheated on me with a girl that's strictly into women.
So a lesbian?
Yes,
saying. Okay.
but it turns out I don't know. I don't think that she was.
I've had a similar situation to that. Like I once.
There was no cutoff for that. It just like I found out as he did it, and I was like, well, I guess there's my cutoff.
I've told this story on a show where you hosted before. I hooked up with a girl who thought she was bisexual, and then after we hooked up, she goes, "I'm gay," and I'm like, "I was that terrible?"
I think guys don't really care as much if they find out the girl they like is bi, but if a girl finds out the guy they like is gay, it's usually like it can turn into a whole dramatic scene.
Now, I watched an episode of Seinfeld. Now, I don't know if this is true or not, but I really want to know if this actually happens. Character George Costanza, he dated a girl, and after they broke up, she became a lesbian. So I wonder if that
you don't
actually
become
happens.
a lesbian. You are a lesbian. You don't become a lesbian.
No, but you get turned off by this one guy, and just says.
Well, maybe they've had those feelings and they suppressed it, so they tried it out with the guy, and then they were like, you know what, this actually isn't for me. And then they're like, you know what, now I can confirm with myself that I'm not really into men.
But then this woman dated George again, so I don't get it.
You know what?
You don't
I had
become
a friend.
a lesbian, though.
I'm going to
That's
go
not how it
ahead
works.
and tell you something,
Sometimes
Zach.
you experiment.
Zach, I'm going to tell you something that I don't really tell on air, but I'm going to go here now and say that I had a friend who... Okay. I guess,
Back it up.
I had a friend, a really, really good friend,
yes.
and I got them together.
Okay.
But it was not on purpose. I just wanted her to meet some friends so that way she could have a guy friend and that she wouldn't cling on to me every 5 minutes of the day. So when they got together, it turns out he was gay, but he was only straight for her. He stayed with her for 7 years.
Oh.
But he was on and off being like, I'm going to break up with her. I want to be with guys. Oh, I'm going to be with her. And then they finally broke up, and now he's completely out. So you could be with one person for a very long time.
Yeah.
It's a very complex situation. There's no, fine line. You can do whatever.
But don't people, like, especially when they're younger, don't they experiment with different...
It's harder, you know? It's harder to really say, like, oh, yeah, I'm into this. No, I'm not. Because you don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know that I'm straight. I know I am 100%. I can't see myself dating a guy. I can never see that happen. I'm straight as a popsicle stick.
All right.
Well, those bend. Anyway.
That is what you chose.
I'm straight as a...
People say straight as an arrow. People say straight as... I don't know. You chose a popsicle stick?
I'm straight...
Popsicle sticks are rounded at the end.
I'm straight up north. Straight north.
Okay,
Where Santa
anyway,
is.
there is a woman
Zach
who
likes Santa
had
Claus.
donated her kidney to this guy, right? She
Right.
was with this guy for 6 years.
Okay.
And it turns out that, I guess, over the time, he had a chronic kidney disease at the age of 17, and he was, I guess, suffering, and she didn't want him to pass away, so she decided to donate her kidney to him to make sure that he would, stay alive. And then 7 months later, he cheated on her.
Wow.
Yeah, what a sad story.
So her kidney is inside of him, and he's cheating on her. That's terrible.
Yeah, he broke up with her over the phone.
Well, he'll have to live with a little bit of her forever.
He said the way that he ended it was, if we are meant for each other, God will bring us back together in the end. Unfortunately, she wanted he was saying that basically he took the kidney to look good.
She'll always be there for him, literally.
To look good. What does that mean?
What do you mean?
What does that mean? He took the kidney to look good.
He took the kidney to have a good look that the
He's
girl
not turning
was
it down, yeah.
Yeah, the girl was donating, and she took the time out of her. He wanted to look like, wow, this is the real couple, and then he was like, actually, I feel a little different.
Well, when it comes to donating,
Thanks for the kidney.
any sort of organs, especially a kidney, I would say kidney. I would look towards family members first before going towards a girlfriend or a boyfriend. It's just not something that I would do. God forbid if that would ever happen to me. But I think that guy is just an a-hole. I think that guy is just not a great person, and I hope he
Don't finish that.
I hope he gets what's coming to him.
I hope he gets what's
I
coming.
hope-
Leave it at that.
Lives a horrible life.
I think that she should go back, take the kidney, and replace with a kidney bean.
That's a
much
good idea.
smaller.
Just
Well-
open
That's
that
very
scar
noticeable.
up. Open the scar up.
Oh,
and then
stop!
just-
Stop! That's disgusting.
No, rip it up. And then
Oh,
you
why'd you have to make that noise?